a young man that came into the league, played 6 years. He's got a couple of titles as a player manager, another title as a manager. And I remember saying to him one time when they needed a new skipper down in Du Bois County in 2000, I said, you ought to consider managing one day. Me? Well, nah, I don't know. Okay, well, I'll think about it. So anyway, he's something else. He left his playing career here as an all-time hits leader, RBI leader. He was doing a lot of stuff, but a young man whose family I've gotten to know. His father's become a very dear friend. His father travels all over the league, and Mom traveled all over the league to see his clubs play. But this is a young man that is really, along with all these other guys, but it's really helped build the league, the kind of players we have, the talent level we have in this league. This gentleman has been involved in all of it, and is also now the Frontier League's winningest manager, Fran Riordan. I have to say one thing. Does anybody know the movie Stripes? You know the movie Stripes? Sergeant Hope says, "Lighten up, Francis." Lighten up, Francis. It's all good.
Billy's favorite line with me. Forgive me in advance. We've been in the league for about 28 years. You have more people to thank, so I may speak a little bit longer than the other inductees. I was talking to my oldest daughter, Brooke, yesterday. I said, "Brooke, what if I tank during my speech?" And she goes, I'll just go crawl underneath the table. So my only goal during the speech is to have her remain in her chair for the entire time. Now, I was fortunate enough that being in the league as long as I have, as a player and a manager, I've either played with or managed all of the inductees in the first class of the Frontier League Hall of Fame. So I can speak a little bit about them. Scott, your Frontier League career was coming to a close when mine was getting started, but I was a first baseman, and what a quick bat, what a short swing, what good feet and hands around the bag. You were a pleasure to watch, and as a fellow first baseman, I certainly appreciated everything that you did. Your ability to drive in runs when it mattered, just your all-around game. It was a great thing to watch. Aaron, I managed against you. You probably had about 20 starts against us, right? And if you had your good stuff, we didn't have much of a chance. But what was most impressive about you, if you did not have your good stuff, you battled and you competed, and we probably still didn't have much of a chance. You really had to be going bad for us to get a win against you, and that's what made you a great pitcher, and that's why you're here. Kirk was a guy that I played a lot of games against, and we had a lot of good battles and a lot of good times together. Kirk was the first five-tool player that I played against. He had speed, he had power, he had a strong arm, he could hit for average. He was a great partier.
Oh, yeah.
Those players are hard to come by. There's not a lot of five-tool players in the Frontier League. Most of them play in the big leagues. Chris Hanners, one of the classiest owners that I've ever encountered. You know, I've known Chris going back to 1997, and just the generosity and class you've always displayed towards my ball clubs and me in particular. It's just a beautiful thing, and you've done great things in the league. Morgan, I wish he was here. Mr. Burkhardt, it's great seeing you. I'm sorry I didn't see you before this. Morgan. What a player. Played with Morgan for 2 years, 97 and 98. And if it wasn't for Morgan, I wouldn't be standing in front of you, I promise you that. But I'll tell you how my career got started, just like Frank told you how Morgan's got started. I was in Buffalo, New York in 1997. I got a call, "Hey, do you want to come try out for an independent team in Richmond, Indiana?" I had no idea what independent baseball was. I said, sure. I left the next morning. Got the call at about 4 p.m. I was on the road by 7 a.m. the next morning. So I get to McBride Field, and it was an off day for the And I go into the clubhouse, and I get changed in my baseball gear, and I walk out to the field. And I see this guy taking batting practice, and it was Morgan. And he is just launching balls left-handed, launching balls right-handed. He was a switch hitter, and he had as much power from both sides of the plate that was just unfathomable to a guy like me. So I'm watching this guy, and I'm just watching him crush baseballs. And I have two thoughts. The first thought is, who the heck is this guy? Why is he here? Why isn't he playing at some higher level somewhere? And my second thought was, geez, I hope this guy's not a first baseman. It turns out he was. So about 5 minutes later, after he's done losing all the baseballs, the field manager comes over to me and he said, he goes, hey, are you Fran Riordan, the outfielder from Buffalo? And I had never played a game of outfield in high school, college, or summer ball, but I'm no dummy. I looked him right in the eye and said, yep, that's me. So the first 2 years of my career, I was an outfielder. Nobody even knew I played first base. I didn't embarrass myself. But I'll tell you a quick story about Morgan, just because there are so many, but this is something that I've never seen before then and haven't seen since. And Andy, maybe you can help me with the details, or if I don't get the details correct, I hope you understand. It was a while ago. Andy was managing the London team, and I think it was 1998, and they were up 2 runs. It was a home game in Richmond. They were up 2 runs in the bottom of the 9th inning, and the bases were loaded, and Morgan came up. Well, Andy, who's got a tremendous feel for the ball game and a tremendous feel for the kind of player that Morgan was, intentionally walks Morgan with the bases loaded, which I'd never seen before and I've never seen since. The guy that hit behind him ended up popping up to end the ball game, so it was a fantastic move. But I think that tells you all you need to know about the kind of player and the kind of impact that Morgan had, not only on individual games, but on the league as well. Good move, Andy. A lot of people in the room I'd like to thank. First of all, the managers that are here. You know, throughout the league and throughout my entire career with the league, there have been a lot of great managers and a lot of great people and a lot of great people who have ended up being friends, and a lot of them are in this room. Andy, obviously you're one of them. Phil Warren from Gateway, tremendous player and tremendous manager. Brooks Carey, such a great man, such a great character. It's been a pleasure, becoming your friend the last few years. One of the managers are here. I don't think Kyle's in the room. Just a great group of managers, and it's fantastic when you can battle against these guys and go to war against these guys, and at the end you shake hands and you can have a beer and talk about where your team is and where your team's going and what your team needs. It's a great fraternity of managers that we have in this league. I need to thank Clint Brown, the owner in Florence, who gave me the opportunity to manage in Florence 4 years ago. And Clint's one of the best owners that I've seen in my entire career. His wife Kim does so much stuff for the players, keeping them happy and comfortable. It's no easy task to keep 24 guys comfortable in an independent situation. And between what Kim does and what Clint does for our ball club, it's a great pleasure and honor to work for you guys. So thank you. We'll get you that ring, Clint, I promise. A lot of the players in here know what it's like to have a great host family, and I've had a few of them over the years. But I'd like to recognize Mike and Jen Fowler, who came from Jasper, Indiana. I stayed with them in 2 years, in 1999 and 2000, and such a generous, caring, loving family. And it was like having a second family that I could hang my hat and lay my head every night after games and talk to about 0 for 4s or talk to about 4 for 4s, and never have them judged based on what you did on the field, but who you were. So thanks for coming. Some other people that came from a great distance that mean a whole lot to me. Joe and Sue Rosenhagen. Joe was my general manager / owner / coach in Kalamazoo with me for 6 years, and now to this day is one of my best friends. And to make the trip out here means the world to me. And your friendship means the world to me. It's great that we still hang out and talk all the time, and you're still in the game, and it's one of my most treasured friendships. The man two seats over to my right, Bill Lee. You know, I spoke a little bit about it last night at the casino and the Q&A, but you know, the fact that he has taken the league from where it started in 1993 to where it is today, and all the work that goes into that, and not only the work, but the foresight and the vision and the decision-making ability that has led the league to where it is today with the markets that are here today. So many things could have happened differently if he didn't make the correct decision, but he always made the correct decision. And a lot of people don't realize it because a lot of people haven't seen where the league was and where it is now. And it's a pretty fantastic thing, and it's a great thing to be a part of, and it's a great thing to have seen the growth throughout the years. But not only that, he's a great person to be around just because he's funny. He likes to have fun. He likes to golf and cut it up and bust chops. And I just have a really nice time every time I get together with him. My family is well represented here. My parents, Frank and Diane, who have been on this journey with me from college all the way through my playing career and my managing career now. My father still listens to almost every game he can, and you know, he lives and breathes pitch by pitch just like I do, and cares just as much about the wins and losses as I do. So your love and support means the world to me, guys. My beautiful wife Cassie and our 3 young children, Brooke, who's not under the table yet, so that's good, Sadie and Trenton. It takes a very special woman to sacrifice what needs to be sacrificed to live in 2 places, to not have me there when there's 3 young children that need to be cared for, and I've got a special person. Thanks, guys. The all-star players. There's not a lot of certainties in this game. There really isn't. But there's a certainty that cannot be avoided, that is 100% inevitable. And that is the fact that you will have your last at bat. You will pitch your last inning. And you never know when it's going to come, but it's going to happen. And it's something that you never think about when you're playing. Because why would you? You're invincible. You're strong. You're good. You're athletic. You're talented. You're going to play in the major leagues forever. But it will end. When it does end, have no regrets.